A couple weeks ago, my wife and I bought a Yoto for our daughter. And in case you're not familiar with it, a Yoto is just a little screen-free story reader. And most people might be familiar with the full-size Yoto. This is a Yoto Mini. It's very convenient, and it just you buy the cards separately, and when you push them in the slot in the reader, it activates. I don't know if the information is actually stored on the card or if it's stored in the cloud, because this connects to the Wi-Fi, and then it reads the stories. And one card will hold a whole book. So this is the Book of Heidi. And so you can also control it with an app. My wife has the app that she can play different things through it, and it's very, very nice for children. And after my daughter was using it for a while, we ran into the problem where she always had to carry it around. And so I thought, why wouldn't I just make a leather case for her Yoto? And it's probably the most expensive Yoto case there is, but I did make one and I liked it. So today I'm going to show you how to make it. And if you want to make it, I'm going to show you the different things that you'll need to make it. And I want to show you the process for making your own leather Yoto mini case. There's really not a lot of things you'll need if you want to make this yourself. You'll need the leather, of course, and I recommend using 4 or 5 ounce. I've made this pattern pretty tight. If you use thicker leather, it probably won't work, although you could modify and just add 1/8 on each edge. Then you'll need the pattern. I'm actually going to make this pattern available online. I spend a lot of time developing it and modifying it so that it's a good fit. So if you want to use that, you're welcome to use that. So besides your leather and your pattern, if you have a straight edge and an X-Acto knife to cut it out, your other big thing will be a stitching apparatus. So whether you're into hand stitching or you have a sewing machine, that's what you'll need, at least the way I do this case, and you'll be all set. If you do put a strap on it, you'll need rivets and a setter to fasten that, or you could stitch it on if you wanted to as well. Additionally, what I'm going to be using today is, I have a draw gauge here. I might use that, and then I'm going to be using some hole punches to get some of my holes nice and round to have the right size. And for the bigger holes and the squares with the rounded corners, I'll punch the corners, at least of the squares, and then I'll cut it out with my X-Acto knife. And then to finish those off, I have my Dremel here, and I have this sanding tip. That'll help me get those holes just nice and round. And then I also made these 2 burnishing tips specifically for this project, for this video. And what I needed was a smaller radius in order to get inside to do some burnishing. So I'm going to be doing some burnishing on the edges here, and then that's about the only fancy thing I'm using here, and it's totally optional. It won't really be necessary at all. And then we're going to stitch it together, and that'll be it. Go ahead and cut out these cutouts and keep them as nice and round as I can. Hopefully you don't tear it the way I tore this. And actually, if I'm going to use this pattern a number of times, what I'll do is I'll trace it out on some much thicker paper. That way it'll withstand more usage. And if it's something you're going to be using a lot of times, it'd be helpful to have it traced out on acrylic and cut out so it's a durable pattern. The leather I'm using today is 4 or 5 ounce Old West pull-up leather from Weaver Leather, and this color is called Grizzly. It does have a bit of pull-up when you bend it. It highlights a little bit, but not so much as quite a few other leathers I've seen. It looks more like a nice chocolate brown to me. It pretty much stays that way regardless of what happens with it. Just a little bit of highlight when it's bent. So we're going to trace all of this out. Be careful to stay true to the pattern, and then we'll cut it out. All right, so this is pretty messy, but it does work fairly well. And what we're going to do is we're just going to round out these holes and smooth them up so they look a little more professional, because it's very hard to cut a perfectly round circle. I didn't mention it at the top, but I like to use an edger as well. Any leather project can be dressed up a lot by edging your work, edge rounding your work. And on this one, what I'm going to do is all the tops are going to get edged top and bottom. All the sides, which will be stitched together. So this one, this one, this one, this one here. I'm doing just the outside, so just the top of the leather. And when it gets stitched together, you've got just one single round edge there. And then all the holes, if I can, I'm going to edge them on the bottom as well. And that just makes it a little more finished, and it makes it easier to burnish. Anytime I'm going to burnish something, I like to use this leather balm with atom wax. Helps lay down the fibers and keep it there, gives us a nice smooth finish. So I'm going to put that on all of the edges. All right, we're ready to do some burnishing here. In case you're wondering, I did apply my leather balm all over this on top, just to get rid of some of the blemishes and scratches. I don't usually edge on this table, but I did. I had flipped it upside down, and with these cut marks in here, it does tend to rough it up a bit. I don't like to do that. I did it just since I'm videoing right here and it was convenient. So I put the leather balm over everything and polished that with a microfiber cloth, and it just gives it a little bit of a sheen there. So we're going to go ahead and try to get a little bit of a burnish on the inside of these squares and circles here. And it may take some time, and we may need to wet down the edges again. This chrome tanned leather doesn't burnish nearly as easily as veg tan. So these edges here, I'm going to wait to burnish those until I've stitched it together. Then we'll be able to polish that nice and cleanly, hopefully. So this just needs a little bit more time. It's going to take a little bit to get a nice smooth finish in here. So I am going to put a carrying strap on this thing. My daughter has one on hers, and she really likes that carrying strap. She just puts it around her neck. It just hangs behind her back. She has her headphones in it and listening, and she's just playing. And so what I have here is I have some thicker leather, and I don't have this leather in a thicker leather. So I'm just using my regular Crazy Horse leather 8-9 ounce. Took a 1/2 inch strip of it. I made it 30 inches long, And I think what I'm going to do is just stitch it on instead of riveting here. And I'm going to do it about in this position. I'm probably just going to guess, and then it's going to be actually on the outside. I want to keep the straps on the outside of the case so it doesn't impact the fit on the interior. So at this point, our case looks all crumpled up, kind of small, but that's just the way we want it. The way we've designed it with these seams, it pushes the leather in on all four sides, and that's going to make a nice tight case for the Yoto Mini. And it's essential up front here because if the case doesn't sit flat against the Yoto, you can't access your buttons very well, especially your power button, which is also the pause and play button. And then, of course, you need enough room here to get your headphone jacks in. So what we're going to do now is just finish off the corners and we'll be done. We're going to again apply our leather balm here on the corners, and then we're going to burnish it and finish it up. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate you coming onto the channel. In just a minute here, I'm going to show you how you can get this PDF pattern on my website. You'll just go to digital downloads and I'll have the instructions up there in just a minute. So you're going to go to crazyhorseleather.net and then you'll click on the menu, go to digital downloads, and this will be the only product there right now. So then you click on it and there you go. So then you can just buy it there, you can download it, and you've got the pattern. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.